The governor of Texas has unveiled plans for a new strategy aimed at deterring migrants from illegally crossing the border from Mexico. Governor Greg Abbott made the announcement at a press conference this afternoon, and journalist Benji Heyer is tracking the story from Washington. And so, Benji, what stood out for you from what the governor had to say?
Yeah, Greg Abbott laying out these plans, which he hopes will deter migrants from making that dangerous journey, illegally crossing from Mexico into his state of Texas. The bottom line for him is he wants to discourage those from coming and help them understand the consequence of trying. Take a listen to a bit of what he had to say.
To keep illegal immigrants from entering into Texas, we've built walls and razor wire barriers and deployed buoys and container boxes. We've arrested thousands who got by those barriers. We will continue to aggressively arrest immigrants entering Texas illegally. We will work with the Trump administration to deport them. The message is, do not risk a dangerous trip just to be arrested and deported.
Some of the measures that he's outlined in past hours include putting up messages in Mexico in multiple languages, suggesting to those who are trying to get into the United States that if they do try to enter, they will be arrested and they will be jailed. There was also a focus in that news conference on the prevalence of sexual assault that is experienced by many along the way to North America. And the warning from Greg Abbott is that the price of making this journey is simply too high to risk. What is interesting is that this presser took place in the Texas border town of Eagle Pass, yes, but this sort of subject of illegal immigration has been a real focus nationwide. It is credited by President-elect Donald Trump as being the issue for voters that helped get him back in the Oval Office. And Greg Abbott is a particularly interesting case here in the US because he has been a critic of the Biden administration's handling of migrant crossings. He was made a name for himself by busing asylum seekers from Texas to cities across the US, including here in Washington, D.C. and New York. But these policies that he will be announcing and has announced today, they'll be implemented under a Trump White House, and they will complement the president-elect's pledge to deport millions of undocumented migrants in the United States.
And the timing of this new effort is interesting, right? So why is Governor Abbott unveiling this plan right now?
Particularly interesting because if you look at the statistics, the number of people crossing the border illegally into Texas over the last couple of years, it's actually dropped. But of course, we can't forget what's happened in past weeks. And Greg Abbott's messaging, his actions over immigration have clearly been emboldened by Donald Trump's election victory. I mean, Texas already buying swathes of rural ranch land to use as potential mass deportation facilities under Trump's plan. Texas also building a new operating base in Eagle Pass to house thousands of troops because Donald Trump has threatened to use the military to carry out his deportation project. And it is a project which is a huge logistical, financial, legal and moral challenge for the incoming administration. But what they have in Texas is a Republican-led state, the only Republican Party-led state in terms of who the governor is, on the Mexican border. And therefore, Texas is in the right place for Donald Trump to help provide this model for his unprecedented operation. So instead of what we've seen in past years, which is Texas Governor Greg Abbott fighting with Washington on immigration, having to fund his own deterrence, the state will now have a central role in enabling Donald Trump's nationwide crackdown.
All right, Benji, thank you. That's journalist Benji Heyer live in Washington.